January 13th. A worried sister is reaching out on Facebook, hoping someone knows where her 17-year-old brother might be.
Has anyone seen my brother? He's only 17 and he's been missing since yesterday evening, and no one has heard from him or can get through to him.
Friends and family are concerned, but what they don't yet know is that Keane has been killed, decapitated, and chopped up in one of the most brutal gang murders Ireland has ever seen.
Gardaí have appealed for information to help identify human remains found in a sports bag in North Dublin last night.
At around 10 p.m. on January 13th, children came across a sports bag. Inside was something that would shock the entire nation. Human limbs belonging to Keane.
Y'all know a little bit about the gangs in Ireland?
Also inside the bag, a pair of flip-flops. This wasn't just any murder. The flip-flops weren't just a bizarre detail.
I do this because white lives
matter.
It was a symbol of revenge. Let me let y'all know. I'm doing this because white lives matter. Don't nobody ever speak about the white lives that's lost all around the world due to white-on-white crime. And I'm just here to say white lives matter, and I'm standing up for the white community. You know, and I really want the white community to get it together. Stop killing each other. You know, because all y'all the same. You know what I'm saying? So this is all intended to help and bring a realization and reflect. Just sit here and take a moment. Just think about all the white people that's dying all around the world, from Ukraine to Russia. Crazy white-on-white crime. I just need my white brothers to get it together.
And a warning from one of Ireland's most notorious gangsters.
Are you looking for more in this world? Are you ready to be part of something bigger?
Robbie Lawler, one of Ireland's most feared hitmen, had been humiliated a month earlier. After leaving a gym in Dublin, Lawler was ambushed by a group of youths.
He like the King Von of Ireland or something.
Beat him up, and stole his gym bag.
Yes!
Hey, hold on, man. These niggas look like they a little bit too old to be gangbanging, bro. Like, these niggas look like they supposed to be picking the kids up from school, taking them to practice or something. Like, what's going on with white culture in Ireland? Like, these niggas old, these old ass men I'm seeing right here. I'm talking about, like, they the age that, like, you really supposed to be done with anything that's close in vicinity to anything street, period. Like, this supposed to be over with, you know? You ain't supposed to be doing nothing at that age, man. Look at this man, old as hell. This nigga here old as a motherfucker, man. And they be talking about the youth. See, the difference between our community, right, and like places like this and the white community is like, we doing this shit because we in poverty. It's a reason behind it. Like, most niggas go hit them a lick because they need some money in their pocket, something like that. Like, they moms, you know what I'm saying, short on rent. Moms need help with the bills, some shit like that. Dad done left, for either dad probably there, but shit, you know, niggas still living below means. Because, you know, it's hard for black men a lot of times to get a good, decent job, keep that motherfucker, you know, and make ends meet, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, we got reasons behind the crime that we do. Like, our crime ain't just like random. You feel me? Like, it ain't, you know, it ain't frivolous. Like, it got a point to it. You know what I'm saying? You got a destination. You trying to get somewhere. Like, this shit here don't make sense. Like, why this 50-year-old nigga right here still gangbang? That's the crazy thing too. Like, with Italian mob, them were old ass men. Y'all realize that shit? Like, these were old ass men doing the shit that our youth do. These was grown ass men. Like, you gotta pay attention to that shit.
Only the start of it. That's only the start of it. That's only the start of it, Robbie.
The incident was filmed and shared on social media, mocking him. They would also later post pictures of themselves wearing his flip-flops. For a man like Lawler, this was unforgivable. But who was Keane Mulready Woods, and how did he end up being the victim of one of Ireland's most brutal gang murders? Keane grew up in Drogheda and attended St. Oliver's Community College in the town. A popular youth from a well-liked working-class family, the teenager was a fan of motocross and owned his own scrambler bike. In his mid-teens, He was lured into petty offending by local criminals with the promise of money, designer clothes, and respect. It's a route into criminality for many youths all around the country. Keen's descent into Droghed's criminal underworld happened.
Y'all got criminality in all around Europe, and all around Ireland? That's crazy. That's crazy because y'all try to make it seem like it was just us. That's crazy. Y'all try to make it seem like it was just niggas. Nah, man. That white on white crime, something else. You talking about Ukraine, Russia? They bombing the shit out of each other right now for no reason. I don't even know what it's about. Y'all just kill each other for no reason. Y'all gotta stop that shit.
Faster than usual, maybe due to the fact he is the godson of notorious gang leader Owen Maguire. He became involved with his godfather's drug gang at a time when its feud with a rival group was beginning to heat up.
Hey, by the time our young niggas get that age, by the time the young niggas in our culture get that age, they done already started a family. They might end up locked up because y'all, you know, America is big on mass incarceration and targeting black youth for no reason. So y'all make policies and laws to trip a nigga up and get them banged and hammed up and jammed up, put in the system. That's the difference. Y'all got to make laws to get us fucked up. Like, we don't do organized crime because really we just trying to get some money and get out the ghetto. Like, you know, white folks got organized crime. Y'all be killing each other by the thousands. Genocide. Then y'all sweep it on the rug. Shit crazy.
Keen was expected to take part in this. He smashed the window of the home of Baboy, who owed a drug debt, before throwing a petrol bomb inside. But the feud wasn't just about threats. On July 5th, 2018, a brutal attack changed everything for Keen's godfather. Owen Maguire was shot 6 times by a gunman at his home on Cement Road. One of the bullets lodged itself in his spine, leaving him permanently paralyzed. The man behind the assassination attempt remained hidden for years. It wasn't until November 2022, long after the violence had claimed more lives, including Keen's, that court documents revealed the identity of the gunman. Robbie Lawler.
Another white man.
On the night of January 12th, 2020, Keen Mulready Woods left his home for what would tragically be the last time. Earlier that evening, he had called his mother, asking her to leave money out for a taxi so he could return home later.
Hey, do y'all know that, drugs is like a big thing in the white community? Like, drugs really, it probably did more damage to the white community than it's done to the black community. I'm not gonna lie. Like, them niggas be having broken homes like a motherfucker now, boy. I'm talking about white bitches be single than a motherfucker now. Single parents. I'm talking about drugs really fucked up their community like a motherfucker too. I'm not gonna lie, John. Let's go.
Unbeknownst to him, he had been lured into a deadly trap. Paul Crosby had met with Keen, and Gerard Cruz was the driver who transported them to 31 Rathmullen Park, a house connected to Crosby, a well-known gangster closely associated with Robbie Lawler, who was waiting for him inside the house. Initially, it's believed that the intent was to rough Keen up, to scare him as a warning. But as the night unfolded, the plan took a far more violent turn. Once inside the house, Keen was overpowered.
Hey, by the way, this is for educational purposes only. Educational purposes only. This from Criminal Minds Uncovered. Uncovered. Criminal Minds Uncovered. Educational purposes only.
And tortured. According to Gardaí reports, Robbie Lawler then delivered the fatal blow, stabbing Keen in the neck and leaving him bleeding on the floor. However,
he really hated
Lawler didn't stop there.
Take a lot to stab,
he then proceeded to dismember Keen's body. Using a knife, Lawler meticulously cut Keen into pieces.
No
one understands. If I actually told people how I'm feeling, they would think of me differently. That is a lie that I told.
Lawler meticulously cut Keen into pieces. Paul Crosby
and
Gerard Cruz,
though
not directly involved in the killing, played crucial roles in setting the trap. But the murder wasn't about hiding the evidence.
Though, when it comes to black people and white people crying, like white people they be excessive with their response to everything. Like you owe black nigga money, you know what I mean? You don't pay him, he keep ask you, hey, look, man, pay me. You don't pay him, then next thing you know, he might shoot you, dude. You know what I mean? it's gonna be reasonable response. White people just kill everybody. They come outside, they mad at one nigga, they kill everybody on the block. That's crazy.
Lawler's goal was to make sure Keene's death sent a message to his rivals. He packed Keene's remains into a black Puma sports bag alongside a symbolic addition, a pair of flip-flops. Keene's remains were then disposed of in two separate locations. The sports bag containing his limbs was discarded in Kulok, while his head and hands were placed in a burning car in Drumcondra. A clear, single motive for the murder of Keene was never explicitly confirmed by investigators beyond the ongoing gang war, but there are strong indications as to why Keene Mulready Woods became a target.
Why?
One likely motive is Keene's close connection to Owen Maguire. As Maguire's godson, Keene was considered part of his inner circle, which alone could have painted a target on his back. Robbie Lawler, who had been locked in a vicious rivalry with Maguire's gang, saw Keene as a prime target.
Real talk, these are niggas that come over here to America. They come over from Ireland. These be the motherfuckers that come from Ireland with the little gang tattoos and shit, and they come and oppress and subjugate the black community. Like, these the motherfuckers right here, the police officers when they get over here. I swear to God. These motherfuckers right here. Back home, they some degenerates though. Where they come to America, they can put on a uniform and go hit a nigga upside the head with impunity. They ain't got no consequences to it. So these are the motherfuckers they hiring at the police force when they got down, when they let them immigrate over here to America. These white motherfuckers right here, just white, violent motherfuckers, just violent, evil motherfuckers. That motherfucker right here, just no reason. They killing each other in Ireland like nothing. So you know when they come over here, they don't give a damn about killing no nigga.
The animosity between Lawler and Maguire reached its peak after Maguire was left paralyzed in a 2018 assassination attempt, later confirmed to have been carried out by Lawler. After this attack, the feud intensified, with each side escalating their violence. Another likely motive was revenge for an earlier humiliation Lawler had suffered. In December 2019, just weeks before Keene's death, Lawler was ambushed by a group of youths after leaving a Dublin gym.
Uniform on.
The attack was recorded and shared widely on social media, tarnishing Lawler's feared reputation. Although there is no direct evidence linking Keene to this mugging, the presence of a pair of flip-flops in the sports bag with Keene's dismembered limbs strongly suggests that Lawler believed Keene was involved. But Robbie Lawler wouldn't escape the consequences of his brutal actions. On April 4th, 2020, just months after Keene's murder, Lawler was gunned down in broad daylight in Belfast. He was pronounced dead at the scene. It was reported by the Irish Mirror that Cornelius Price, a Drogheda gang boss, paid over 100,000 euros for Robbie Lawler to be assassinated after luring him with a fake hit. It is understood that he fled Ireland to Britain weeks after his release from prison at the height of the Drogheda drugs feud in February 2020 because he was terrified Lawler would kill him first. Price, who died from a brain disease last February, used a rival crime group to hire Lawler to carry out a hit in Belfast.
I'm trying to tell you, these niggas come over to America, immigrate to America, these same niggas that be locking us up. These niggas back home, they be degenerate gangbangers though.
Hit took weeks to set up.
Cartel.
Lawler had blamed Price for the killing of his brother-in-law in Bettystown and had vowed to get his revenge on Price.
And y'all know that
basically organized on a social level, the father
criminal organizations and shit. They done infiltrate the police force,
Price and his associates were outraged at the brutality of the killing.
A lot of police forces got
believed
gang
Lawler
members
and his allies had crossed a line
but not gang members, cartel members, or mafia leaders, or mafia members.
Price then moved his close family from his compound near Gormanston, County Meath, to Rochdale outside Manchester.
And they be locking up the lower level gang members. That's crazy.
A source said Price was no angel, and he had plenty of blood.
Ain't that like shooting yourself in the foot though? Like if you locking up the niggas that's selling the drugs that your organization sold to them, it's kind of shooting yourself in the foot.
To set up Robbie Lawler, and that is exactly what happened. Price felt Lawler had to be stopped before he killed him or members of his family. It was like something you'd see from a Netflix Narcos movie. Cornelius Price put a video
But
out
then
on
at the
social
same
media
time, it's not shooting
toasting
yourself in the
Lawler's
foot
death
because
hours after the
you
murder.
actually eating. You it's the triple cross. You double crossing them. You triple crossing them. You actually, because you eating 2 times though. It's not actually. It's a brilliant idea. If you really want to keep some niggas oppressed, like, you know, get them to work to sell. You know what I'm saying? You make money off selling them to work, wham, and then keep an eye on the motherfucker because you know who you sold the work to, so it ain't nothing to, you know, do some research and get a nigga background, find out where he stay at, keep an eye on him. Boom, you got him that way. Now you got your eye on him. You done sold him the work. You made your money that way. You wait for him to get his money right. He become kingpin status. Boom, then there you go. Investigation. Yeah, you got him. Got him. Gotcha. Yeah, that's how it go. Gotcha. So you eat 2 times. Now you come back, you boom, raid the crib. You take your little money off the top. You know, you break a little partners out. Hey, y'all keep them out close, nigga. We gonna tuck a little. This your 5. This your 5. This your 5. This your 5. You know, you take the little rest of the money in evidence. Like, you know, yeah, nigga. We found 4.5. What happened to the other 5? You know what I mean? That type move. So you eating that way, then you get his ass locked up, and then you make the paper. So you make a name for yourself. Yeah, this shit crazy.
Boys, rest in peace. He's not even worth saying rest in peace, but fair play to him. Here you go, boys. Captain Morgan.
Patrick Tier and Adrian Holland have been charged with and have denied murdering Mr. Lawler. A third accused, James Fields, appeared at Belfast Crown Court, where he was charged with assisting offenders. However, this is still an ongoing investigation. The Garda source added, "These 2 guys had history and absolutely hated each other's guts. Ironically, both are dead
Also,
now,
niggas ain't the only
and it was
niggas
the
that
brain
hate
disease
other niggas,
and
you know
not
what I mean?
gangland,
So
which
therefore
got
what I'm saying
Cornelius
is we ain't
Price
the
in
only
the
people
end.
that hate our own people.
He probably did the
Sometimes
world
niggas
a big
some
favour,
niggas gotta be
getting
hated.
rid of Lawler,
Some niggas
who
do
was
some
a
shit too. You
madman
don't give a fuck
and
what color
literally
they
just
is.
killed for fun.
It
The
just so
court
happened that
trials
we
following
live
the
around
murder
each
of
other, so
Keen
of course
Mulready
we gon'
Woods
you know what
brought
I'm saying?
some
That's just how
justice
shit
to
works.
his
That's how
grieving
crime works.
family, but led to lengthy court proceedings.
Like real talk, crime is based off vicinity. Like, you don't do crime, like, not usually. Not, you know, sometimes niggas do get on that. Yeah, let's go out the way, go to the right white folks area. Let's go hit some of their cars. Let's go hit their mall. Let's go break in their shit. Sometimes niggas get on that time, but if you ain't got no money to do all that, nah, nigga, we gonna get what's easy. Yeah, and that's gonna be somewhere close by your neighborhood in the vicinity that you in. So.
Proceedings in the special criminal court.
It ain't got nothing to do.
27-year-old Paul.
Ain't like niggas like, oh, let's go find another nigga because I hate myself. So, like, you know what I'm saying? That little black on black hate crime type shit they try to push, that's crazy as hell, because niggas don't wake up like, hey, let me just go rob another nigga. Niggas just like, hey, let me go find a nigga, let me find somebody to hit who got some more money. It don't really matter who it is. It's just, if you close in proximity and a nigga can't get to you, they gonna get the closest person to him. It ain't got nothing to do with hating yourself. It got something to do with poverty. Like,
Crosby and 49-year-old Gerard Cruz.
Like, check this out. You know, this how every group of people act in poverty. Like, every group of people act the same way in poverty. Like, even like animals. If you take a mice out their habitat and put them inside a box, they did experiments like that before, and they seen how the mice act. Everything. If you take anything out of its natural habitat and put it somewhere where, you know, resources are thin, then they gonna do what they gotta do to survive. It's fight or flight.
Played pivotal roles in the lead up to Keen's murder. They lured Keen to 31 Rathmullen Park, where he was killed and dismembered by Robbie Lawler. Both men were well known to the authorities, with Crosby already having over 40 previous convictions. Although neither man physically participated in the killing or the dismemberment of Keen's body, their roles in luring him to the location and in helping Lawler carry out his plan made them critical facilitators. Crosby and Cruz were seen laughing as they were led away from court after being sentenced. It was reported that one of them was overheard saying, "We got off lightly," boasting about the
Ireland
short
got a
length of
mass
their
incarceration
sentences.
problem. If so,
Paul
then,
Crosby was
like,
sentenced to 10 years in prison, while
what's the
Gerard Cruz
demographics in that
received 7
motherfucker?
years.
Is it more
Both men
black
had
people or
6
more white
months
people?
suspended, and because of remission rules, Crosby could be out in
You
7.5
looking at this
years,
shit,
and Cruz
it should
in
be more
5
white people.
years. Another
I ain't
key
gonna lie.
figure, 46-year-old
I
Stephen
don't think black
Carberry,
people got no
was
power
also
over there.
brought before the special criminal court.
For real.
Carberry was charged with disposing of Keen's body parts after the murder between
Shit,
January
black people
13th
probably
and
do over there
15th,
probably petty as hell.
2020. Carberry was
compared to
accused
the
of
shit these niggas be
transporting
into.
and disposing of Keen's severed limbs. Additionally, he was charged with setting fire to the
Hey, how much y'all want to bet they sold that nigga organs on the black market?
Volvo V40 in Trinity Terrace, Ballybough, where Keen's head and hands were later discovered in the car's boot. The Gardaí remain hopeful of making more arrests and bringing additional charges in connection to the disposal of Keen's remains and other...
Damn. White people get sophisticated with they killing, like, nigga. Not only am I gonna chop you up, I'm gonna take your organs out. I'm gonna sell a heart. You know how much hearts and shit like that costs on the black market, nigga? Kidneys and shit. People really elect, like, a person itself. You can take a person in itself, like, that's what white people went to. They selling body parts.
Aspects of the murder.
Supercharge your business with the all-new Shopify point of sale. The all-in-one POS.
It's April 4th, 2020, and Ireland is in the depths of lockdown. The streets are empty, and most people are confined to their homes. But on this quiet Saturday, rumours explode throughout Ireland. Robbie Lawler, one of the country's most feared gangsters, has been shot dead.
He was shot up to 4 times in the head on the driveway of a house on Etna Drive. The 35-year-old father of 3 was the chief suspect in the murder of 17-year-old Keen Mulready Woods in Drogheda in January.
Known as a dead man walking, he'd made countless enemies. It was just a matter of who would strike first. But what led to his violent end? And who pulled the trigger? To understand this, we need to go back and see
this
how
nigga
Robbie
look like the
Lawler...
regular people that come to America, immigrate to America, and start taking pictures and shit at our monuments and old national parks and shit like that. Like these niggas, like this nigga is a regular white boy. I swear to God, he's like a regular white boy next door. The boy next door, the bitch next door, like whatever y'all call it, white people shit. Like, yeah, that's him. Like, bro, you can't even tell the difference. That's what's crazy about this shit. Like over there, they be killers. They come over here and act like they victims though. Damn.
A kid from Coolock, Dublin, became one of the most feared figures in Irish organised crime. One of Dublin's most disadvantaged neighbourhoods, where poverty, drugs, and violence were deeply rooted in the community.
Deeply rooted, so that mean, do deeply rooted mean that y'all been doing that shit for so long that, like, it's generations of this shit? Like, y'all got granddads, fathers, uncles, and shit in this shit, like, entangled in the street? That's the same thing over here. Like, come on, they doing the same thing over there. So you mean to tell me that they got deep roots in the streets in Ireland, but then they get over here and act like it's like a conundrum. Like they so confused about what's going on in the black community when back home they got the same shit going on. It's crazy.
Areas like Coolock and Darndale saw rapid development, shifting from farmland to large housing estates. As part of an effort to move residents out of the inner city's dangerous tenement buildings, Dublin city officials promised Coolock's new residents a better quality of life. However, these promises went largely unfulfilled, and Coolock's young residents found themselves in an area lacking proper support or resources. Heroin soon flooded the community, triggering widespread addiction and attracting organised crime. As crime took hold of Coolock, many young people saw few legitimate opportunities for a better future.
So hold on, they hit our community with the same shit they hit their community? That's crazy. These motherfuckers wild, man. These motherfuckers wild, G. Man, it's the same shit going on in black people community, bro, and they act like they don't know nothing about this. I'm glad I was the first person. Hey, and pay attention, y'all. Nobody was doing this before me. Like, I got this from somewhere, but nobody was doing this before me in my community. Like, in the black community, nobody was on this. I'm shining the light, and I wanna put a national light on white crime, white on white crime, and the roots of white on white crime, where it comes from, the origins of white on white crime. So right now we're starting off in Ireland, but I mean, we're going to go to Britain, we're going to go to Ukraine, we're going to go to Russia, we're going to go to Italy, we're going to go all around Europe. We're going to touch that whole motherfucking map. And we're going to bring it over here to America too, man, white on white crime. And we just got to put a national light on it, because it's way too common. then people broadcast. You know, they don't want to broadcast white on white crime, but I'm gonna be the first person to broadcast white on white crime starting today. You know, and speaking of white on white crime, man, you know, I want to say pray for Ukraine and Russia. You know, cause they over there bombing and shit out of each other daily by the thousands. These niggas killing each other like in there. So pray for Russia and Ukraine. Pray for all the white folks and they white on white crime. Let's continue.
Instead, organized crime presented a path, providing money and status.
Start white on white crime. That's what I'm protesting. I'm protesting against white on white crime because I want to help save y'all communities. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we gonna do it.
In these neighborhoods
could
find employment in the criminal economy, starting as
if you see somebody else doing this, you know they done jacked it from me. So let them know in the comments that they jacked that shit from me.
Collectors and moving up to more substantial roles like enforcers and hitmen. Lawler, a Kulok native, was no exception, and he entered the criminal world as a teenager. From early on, Lawler distinguished himself with his unpredictability and violent tendencies. Described as volatile and erratic,
did he come from a single mother home? Like, what was the problem? Was it poverty? What's going on with him? What's going on with dude?
Embraced violence. By the time he was in his late teens, he was considered one of the city's most dangerous individuals, capable of acts others would hesitate to commit. His ruthlessness would soon make him a key figure in Dublin's organized crime scene. Robbie Lawler's violent reputation truly took hold with the murder of Mark Byrne, a seasoned criminal who had once clashed with Lawler in prison. While still behind bars, Lawler had a serious...
contrary to popular belief, the no snitching, like that whole little moniker, the no snitching thing, that actually started in Europe. Like the Italians came up with that. So they always talking about the black community and no snitching. Well, don't no community believe in snitching. Like, I tell you that right now, for real. No community on this planet believes in snitching on anybody that's from their community. I tell you that right now. If I'm lying, I swear to God, God is striking me right now. No community believes in snitching. None. Police don't even believe in snitching. Think I'm bullshitting? The police don't believe in snitching. Look, if the police was to gun a black man down right now, and gun anybody down, they gonna all go to bat for each other. They gonna all cover each other's stories and corroborate each other's stories. That hence, no snitching. They don't believe in snitching on each other. Nobody believes in snitching on each other. So when niggas tell, it's crazy to me. But let's go.
Falling out with Byrne, a more established figure in Dublin's underworld. Known to hold grudges, Lawler didn't let the
Hey, look, check this out. Politicians don't even believe in snitching. Hence the reason why you got to go up there and, you know, get their ass to tell the truth. How many politicians lie to us every damn day? And they don't tell on each other. No snitching. Come on.
End with his prison sentence. On May 5th, Byrne was granted temporary release from Mountjoy Prison, where he had been serving a 4-year sentence. Just 10 minutes after stepping outside, as he walked toward Phibsborough in Dublin, he was fatally shot in the head and chest. The attack was swift and brutal.
Siggy Skyr, full of protein. Less ingredients, less sugar. Less sets you free.
If you want to heal your broken arm, you should go here. And if you want to heal your soul, you should come here. At church, we...
The attack was swift and brutal, leaving him dead at the scene. According to witness accounts, after Byrne collapsed to the ground, Lawler leaned in close, making sure Byrne was dead before fleeing the scene. This murder was far from a typical gangland attack. Lawler's decision to kill for a personal grudge set him apart in a world where violence was typically motivated by business, loyalty, or hierarchy. From this point on, Lawler became a notorious figure. By 2010, Dublin's gangland landscape was shifting.
Hey, am I the only person that think it's crazy to see a man call the police on somebody else? Like, I think the police is only for, like, women. I think if a man called the police, it look crazy as a motherfucker.
And Robbie Lawler was at the heart of it.
You can't protect yourself.
His connection to Richie Carberry, his brother-in-law, and a significant figure in the criminal world, positioned him as a
the crazy thing about it, you call the police and they send other men over there to help protect you. As a man, you gotta feel like a bitch.
Player in the Drogheda feud. Carberry had moved to Bettystown and set his sights on Drogheda as a prime area to expand his drug empire.
Hey, that's the equivalent of like a nigga slapping you and you running to go get your big cousin. Like, it's crazy.
With Drogheda growing into a major commuter town, the demand for cocaine surged as weekend commuters from Dublin sought drugs to fuel a party lifestyle. Carberry recognized this opportunity and began
is the police like the big brothers to white people in society? Like, hey, call us, we gonna come protect you because we know you can't do it yourself. That's crazy.
Establishing a stronghold in the area, the Maguire gang had long controlled Drogheda, but their dominance was threatened as younger, more ambitious members grew frustrated and began battling for control. This internal conflict
White on white crime,
created
y'all
an
niggas can't
opening
never
for
get it right.
Carberry, who saw potential allies in the younger faction.
Black people ain't the only people. They got the crab in the bucket mentality. You heard what they just said. Them niggas started fighting at each other. Soon the power started, goddamn, the power structure started, goddamn, dwindling a little bit. These niggas started stabbing each other in the back, just like every other community.
Looking to break away from Maguire's control, Carberry offered weapons and a steady drug supply to the new faction, encouraging them to go to war with their...
I'm gonna keep this shit going. It's gonna be seasonal too. It's gonna be like a season. This gonna be a whole season right here. This gang right here, we're gonna start in Ireland. It's gonna be a whole season. It's gonna be like 10 of them motherfuckers.
Former allies to take over Drogheda. He provided not only resources, but also his secret weapon, Robbie Lawler. Lawler was notorious for his erratic and impulsive behavior.
Hey, look at them eyes, man. That nigga got his eyes beady than a motherfucker. Small ass eyes. He got some small ass eyes. I know he crazy than a bitch. That's some Down syndrome eyes. Yeah, de-evolution, Down syndrome eyes right there. Gotta look at that shit. Nigga like that kill you. Nigga brain ain't fully developed at all. It can't develop no more. It's short and fused. Brain shorting out. Eyes small. Beat it out of that nigga.
Which made him unpredictable and feared by those on both sides of the feud.
I wouldn't fear him though. I slap the shit out of him, but he probably kill everybody though. You slap him, he gonna shoot everybody in the vicinity. Gonna be crazy.
Although he was in and out of prison, he regularly assisted Carberry, operating as an enforcer and using extreme violence to intimidate anyone who stood against them. His involvement was marked by continual clashes with individuals like
Cornelius. Ain't no lie, the gangsters in white society though, I would say this, the gangsters in white society, if they was to come to black society, they'll get bullied. Like, they'd be the store runners like, hey bro, go get us some blunts and shit.
Cornelius Price, an ally of Maguire. In 2019, while Lawler was in prison, Richie Carberry was murdered in a suspected revenge attack,
what are you doing,
believed by many to have been orchestrated by the Maguire gang.
Nah, you can't hit the blunt. You can roll it up though.
He went on the offensive, targeting Maguire's associates. Lawler was suspected in the non-fatal shooting of Owen Maguire, the gang's leader, leaving Maguire paralyzed.
I get a clip. You can get a roach. You can get a roach. You good enough to get a roach. You can get that bitch.
Increasingly chaotic.
It's right there. I put it. It's in the ashtray in the kitchen, nigga.
Northern Ireland, frequently traveling to Belfast.
Tell that nigga it's in the ashtray in the kitchen, man. You can find it. If you can find it, it's yours, man.
Cathedral Quarter, he was seen openly, often collecting drug debts for various gangs, including amounts he claimed were owed to his murdered brother-in-law, Richie Carberry.
Oh, it ain't in now?
Damn. In Northern Ireland,
you gotta go walk and get some more.
Republican areas, traditionally off-limits to Dublin criminals, was a bold display that suggested he didn't fear retaliation. Lawler's confidence was so high that he even took to social media to document his movements, posting videos that showcased his behavior as he openly challenged his enemies. During this period, Lawler...
They look like the president of Ukraine right there. They look like, what's his name? Vladimir Zelensky. Vladimir Zelensky
relationship with a middle-class businesswoman connected to the legal profession. Law enforcement officials became aware of this relationship and grew concerned for her safety. They had observed Lawler leaving.
Hey, what y'all know about it being easy as hell for white gang members to infiltrate white society and white goddamn government infrastructures and shit, because they just look at each other as like whiteness and they loyal to the color, so they don't even think about this shit like this nigga trying to fuck you over. Damn.
Car doors in a way that initially appeared threatening. The guard eye approached her to offer support if she felt intimidated, but she laughed off their concerns, revealing that her relationship with Lawler was mutual. This relationship continued even after Lawler's suspected involvement in Keane Woods' murder, with the guard eye later learning that the woman had planned to travel with her children to visit Lawler in Belfast. Robbie Lawler's violent end came on April 4th, 2020, as a result of months of planning. Cornelius Price, a prominent gang boss, had a deep grudge against Lawler. Their animosity had escalated after Lawler was suspected of orchestrating the brutal murder and dismemberment
Educational purposes only. Again, educational purposes only.
Of 17-year-old Keen Mulready Woods, a killing that
Get
left
educated
Price and
on
his
this
associates
white on white crime.
outraged. The Irish Mirror reported that Price paid over €100,000 to have Lawler assassinated. The setup was complex.
That nigga look like Trevor from GTA 5.
Price allegedly lured Lawler to Belfast with a fake hit job, using contacts he made within Mountjoy prison. Price had fled to the UK weeks earlier, fearing that Lawler, known for seeking revenge, would target him first after his release from prison. Lawler blamed Price for the murder of his brother-in-law, Richie Carberry, and had openly declared that he would get his revenge.
So these niggas doing the same thing niggas doing in America, bro. Like, I swear to God, these niggas get back for get back. Like, they going back and forth. You killed my folks, I'm gonna kill your folks. You killed, and this is in Ireland, bro. These is white people, bro. So when they try to push this old black on black crime shit, you just bring up this video. You white motherfucker, hypocrite, bitch ass nigga.
Price, now working closely with several factions, organized a complex hit.
Y'all over there dismembering bodies and shit, then selling the organs. Like, y'all on a whole nother level. This shit get crazy with y'all.
Lawler was invited to a house on Etna Drive in the Ardoyne area of Belfast under the guise of a job. He was unaware that gunmen awaited.
I think that's like too much work for a nigga. I ain't gonna lie. To sit there and chop at a nigga, niggas ain't gonna even do all that. The niggas really use a gun because it's like simple. Like, it's just simple. Like, it's too much. It ain't that much work involved in pulling the trigger. We ain't finna sit there and chop up your body. It's just too much work. No, you ain't getting paid for this shit.
Him inside. As he entered, Lawler was shot multiple times, killed on the spot in what police would later call an appointment killing. Several notable criminals were initially detained in connection with the hit, including Jar Dundon, Levi Keane, and Quincy Bramble.
White people love doing that sadistic shit, though. Like, just like when during the slavery time, y'all used to cut off body parts and shit and keep that shit in y'all garages and basements and shit and pickle jars and all that type of shit. Pickled penises and shit. Slave dicks. Niggas had a garage full of slave dicks. A basement full of slave dicks. That was what y'all be on.
All linked to the infamous Dundon crime family, while they were quickly released.
Hey, what you know about having a garage full of slave clique? Yeah, I don't know about that.
Suspicions lingered. Gardaí soon discovered €50,000 in cash, believed to be part of the bounty on Lawler during a surveillance operation involving Dundon associates. Sources suggested that the funds were a down payment for Lawler's assassination, although no concrete evidence directly linked these individuals to the murder. The Gardaí suspected up to 20 people may have been involved in planning and carrying out the hit.
20 niggas carried out one hit. That's crazy. Ain't nobody tell. I fuck with that.
After Lawler's assassination, Price posted a video online openly toasting Lawler's death.
And these niggas drilling and drinking to niggas' death. Like,
Price posted a video online openly toasting Lawler's death.
damn.
Video. It says to Robbie Lawler, boys, rest in peace. He's not even worth saying rest in peace, but fair play to him. There you go, boys. Captain Morgan.
I might fuck with these niggas, though.
Owen
I fuck
Maguire,
with his
the
gangster.
gang boss who was paralyzed by Lawler, also posted a video celebrating his death.
What can I say, boys? Tune in.
Not Captain Morgan. This nigga pulled out Captain Morgan. I think that shit like, what, $10? That cheap ass brown liquor, man, he gonna have a fucking... That shit gonna fuck his stomach up, man. This nigga drinking that cheap ass liquor. You could have damn near got you a bottle of 1800. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have did better, sir. You could have did better. Like, you drinking Captain Morgan, man.
Now he's dead. Up his hole, the dirty scumbaggy bastard. Long runs the fox. He got it.
Patrick Tier, Adrian Holland, and James Fields were later charged in connection with the killing, though they denied involvement. For now, the investigation remains open, as Gardaí seek to untangle the network of criminal allegiances and vendettas surrounding Robbie Lawler's violent end. Robbie Lawler may be gone, but the power struggles and vendettas he left behind continue to unfold in Ireland's shadowy criminal world. Lawler lived fast, burned bridges, and met his end in the same ruthless way he lived. For those who knew him, it wasn't a question of if he would be killed,
dropping receipts,
but when.
You know, I'm dropping receipts.
On the evening of June 4th, 2023, Liam Byrne was sitting at a restaurant in Alcudia, Mallorca. Liam appeared relaxed, surrounded by family as he soaked in the atmosphere of a seemingly carefree family reunion. For years, he had evaded justice, living a life of unimaginable luxury, funded by drugs and weapon smuggling. He had recently been residing in Dubai, a haven for the untouchable elite of organized crime. But this trip to Spain, a brief holiday, was a huge mistake. What Liam didn't know was that Spanish police, acting on a request from Britain's National Crime Agency, had been tracking his movements. Byrne had become a central target in an investigation that tied him to firearms trafficking and his role as a key player in the...
See, this the nigga that's trafficking a gun, getting them shit into the black neighborhoods. So when we be saying shit like, hey, where you think the gun's coming from and where you think the drugs coming from, these the guys it's coming from.
In a hand cartel, a criminal empire responsible
this what we mean.
for the
This
mass
exactly what we
movement
mean
of
right here.
drugs and weapons across the world. While Liam dined in comfort, the authorities were ready to strike. Armed
So what you
Spanish
think? What,
police...
you think he's smuggling guns only in Europe? You don't think he's smuggling guns to America too? Through the white supremacist network in America? Because you know they got white gangs in America that's connected to the Irish gangs and the European gangs. Shit like that. It's a whole network of that shit.
Officers stormed the restaurant and surrounded him. He had no way to escape. Liam was escorted out of the restaurant, his head held low as his family watched in silence.
Shame on you, old ass nigga, throwing away your life like
was
that.
The second youngest of 6 siblings, 3 boys and 3 girls, born to James Jaws Byrne and Sadie Byrne. His father, a convicted fraudster, set the
See what
tone
I'm
for
saying? Like, this
families.
degenerate shit be all in their culture. Like, these folks, his wife, his mama is on a fucking breathing machine, bro. And she's still in the criminal network. Like, she's still in the underworld, involved in criminality at 65 years old. Like, what the fuck, bro? You don't see this shit in our culture, man. Grandma is in the house cooking. You know, got all the grandkids in the crib. You know, you don't see this shit. Like, y'all folks live this and die this shit. That gangster shit is y'all culture, man.
Deep in criminality. James Byrne, known as Jaws, was a shadowy figure in Dublin's criminal circles. He had worked with Martin Cahill,
like,
the notorious
he's a notorious career criminal his whole life. You feel me?
Despite not holding legitimate employment since 1974, James owned
like,
his
what you
own.
know about being able to pass down generational gangster shit? Like, you feel me? Like, it's legal for them to pass down generational crime. You know what I'm saying? Like, his daddy, his mama, they daddy, they mama, all involved in this shit. Yeah, you think that they ain't locked up? That's by chance. That's by design. That's purposely. They allowed to do crime, do what the fuck they want to do. You don't get generational crime just cause you on some smart shit. Like, nah, nigga, you ain't no smooth criminal like that. You doing that because the police just looking the other way.
Outright, and maintained an unexplained lifestyle of relative comfort. Later in 2004, he paid over €200,000 to the revenue commissioners after authorities uncovered a massive tax evasion scheme. Liam's siblings played crucial roles in his life. His youngest brother David, who would later rise to infamy as a key figure in the family's criminal operations, shared much of Liam's trajectory. Liam attended Ardscoil Iana, a local school in Crumlin, alongside David. Even in his youth, he developed a reputation for violence and intimidation. Police sources described him as a small but aggressive boy who thrived on the power of fear. By his early teens, Liam had fully immersed himself in street-level crime. He began as a dealer of cannabis, but he quickly expanded to include cocaine and ecstasy. These early dealings brought him under the wing of Christy Conahan,
It's definitely the
an
cocaine.
emerging drug dealer from St. Teresa's Gardens in Dublin.
Yeah,
Conahan, nearly 25 years older than Liam, was already a seasoned criminal with a history of prison time in Ireland and the Netherlands. By the time Liam was running with his gang in Crumlin, Christie was positioning himself as a key figure in Europe's growing drug trade. Liam and his friends, including future gangland figures Freddie Thompson and Brian Rattigan, were among Christy Kinahan's earliest students of crime. As a teenager, Liam's life revolved around crime and violence. His gang, a mix of childhood friends and relatives, operated with a shared goal of rising through Dublin's criminal underworld. They dealt drugs, carried out robberies, and enforced their power through brutal intimidation.
And right there, by their admittance, they just admitted to doing the same shit that niggas do in America. And I don't think crime and criminality is somehow synonymous with any color, any race. I think that it's just connected to poverty. If you got people that want to get something and make something happen and they don't have a lot of resources to make that happen, then by any means they're going to do that, what they have to do to feed their family and provide. So if you put somebody in the worst conditions, in the worst element, and then the only thing they see that they can do is, hey, I look outside, I see them niggas on the corner selling drugs. They getting money, they getting to the bread. Them niggas getting to the pay. I see them niggas pull up, gold chains, jewelry on, all the bitches on them, newest cars, all this type of shit. They got businesses, they getting money. You see that shit, you gonna be captivated. It's gonna be tempting. So, if you ambitious, the real niggas that get caught up in their life be the more ambitious niggas. You know what I'm saying? The niggas who got patience, they go somewhere else. But if you ambitious, you got business mind, you gonna go for that fast money. And it just so happened that, in our community, when we go for that fast money, we get targeted. But as you can see, this man was able to pass down generational criminality to his family members from his grandmother, who was on a breather machine. She's running the family, and she's still able to do that. And the only way that they able to do that is if the police looking the other way. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I always say all the time, crime is only crime depending on the color. Because white people do shit all the time, and it's not a crime. When as soon as a nigga do it, it becomes a crime. So it's that shit is tied to color, man. Anyway, I'm gonna keep this shit going. The next episode, I don't know when I'm gonna come back with y'all though, but I gotta get the fuck on. I hope y'all like that. But right now we just want to put white on white crime in the national lexicon to be a topic, so we can talk about it. We can hopefully bring some type of solutions and resources to the white community to where we can figure out, is there a reason to why they do the things they do? Is it a reason to why they're so criminal prone and crime prone? And so we just trying to figure out what it is that we can do to help white people become more civilized, and so we can just help society grow as a whole, trying to help them evolve spiritually, and then, and help them evolve mentally to where, we won't have so much white on white crime and criminality. So I want to say peace and blessings to Ukraine and Russia and Pakistan, NATO. All the bombing needs to stop. Germany, Turkey, somebody step in, and just stop all the white bloodshed. So if there's a golden white boy amongst any of you guys to be able to, bring that to the table and get you guys to talk and sit down and be civilized, then that's what this channel is for. This channel is pushing for to help civilize the minds of white society. I hope you appreciated the content. I appreciate you watching.
17. Liam had escalated to armed robbery.